Oh, okay. It dawned on me then the witch cast Famalia just like in this case.
Hold it!
Can you tell me what caused that sudden realization? Sure thing. When the Inquisitors came round, I went to have a little peek at the crime scene. That's when I heard them talking about it. I was surprised because they must have come to the same conclusion as me. Crikey, they can do their job, them Inquisitors, I thought. It had to be Famalia. So he was eavesdropping. If I happen to see that Famalia user, I'll arrest him myself. Ugh. Witness, you're testifying in court. Can you not restrain yourself a bit? Was it? Don't you see I gotta have this to keep me spirits up? It's the most potent medicine. 'Tis a drink of mere lust to savor, with an intoxicating scent and flavor. Anyway, this is a waste of time. I should be looking for decisive contradictions. Witnesses, continue your testimonies. Ugh. All the potions and other concoctions from the study have been confiscated. I wonder if they're being properly stored.
Hold it!
Those items were confiscated 3 months ago. You still haven't gotten them back? No, not a single thing. Even though many of those with personal items were no relevance to the crime. Now that I think about it, that room did look pretty empty. As I said, the victim of was an alchemist among his possessions with some very dangerous concoctions. But he did produce medicines to aid sick townspeople as well, to give him his due. Indeed, alchemy is highly beneficial to the townspeople, even if they fail to notice it. It may be beneficial, but it also inspires fear. People fear what they do not understand. At any rate, I cannot return the items to you until Sir Beldrick's case is solved. That is what High Inquisitor Darklaw has decided. And the confiscated goods are being kept in a secret vault by the Knights of the Inquisition? Even the Inquisitors cannot freely enter that vault. It is strictly supervised. That's all they have to say, huh? I really didn't expect him to appear, but maybe I should be used to it by now. Excuse me, Mr. Wright. Sorry to interrupt your train of thought. That's okay. What's it? What is it? I'm wondering if it's just me, but I've been thinking about Mr. Amir's testimony. I think what he said is a little strange, isn't it? Yeah. How can I put it? It's pretty obviously contradictory. He was so keen to testify, and maybe we should give him some attention and point out those contradictions. What a good idea, Luke. Alright, he was in his study. When I carried him for breakfast in the morning, he did not respond. The door was locked. A neighbor had come for a visit just then, so we forced the door open together. It dawned on me then, the witch cast Famalia, just like in this case. No, she didn't. Remember? The witch did not cast that. Well, no, the witch didn't. The witch cast Goldor. Right? Alright. What do I do here? If I present the staff, right? He'll say, oh, well, you know, what do you mean? They said they cast Famalia, and we'll say, no, they didn't, because we checked the staff, and the Famalia gem was fake, remember? The Famalia gem didn't work. So that's the contradiction here.
Objection!
There's something you don't seem to understand here, Mr. Amir. The Famalia gem in this witch's scepter is a fake. The gem is useless. Just like this buffoon's testimony. Therefore, your testimony doesn't hold water. Just like anything else he says. Whoosh. What? Ignored and scorned without credibility. Will majestic Amir now show humility? Yeah. What? A fake? You should have listened to the trial more carefully. Rubble, rubble, rubble. What a drunken buffoon. Now that it has been dealt with, Inquisitor Barnum, the Switch's scepter was not discovered at the crime scene when Sir Belduke was murdered. Is that correct? Indeed, we deduced that Familia must have been used, however.
Objection!
But that Familiar Magic gem was a fake. That much has been demonstrated today. What's more, as we learned from Cracker the Parrot's testimony, the witch used the spell Godor. The fact that there's a green wall at the crime scene corroborates that.
Objection!
That wall may not have been painted green 3 months ago. And besides, no one could have passed through a portal so small. To be honest, I started wondering, were Sir Layton's and Sir Belduke's murders actually committed by the same witch?
Objection!
Your Honor, I'd like to remind you that was the Inquisitor's claim. He's right, though. It's got to be the same culprit in both cases. And at the very least, it's possible that the witch used the spell Godor to commit Sir Belduke's murder. In that case, I will ask the defense to show us proof. Do you have proof that the witch could have used Godor to kill Sir Belduke? What? Uh-oh. A sketch? Ah, there it is! The wall's green! It's the sketch. Yep. The wall's green. Yep, let's present the sketch.
Take that!
If you'd like to take a look at these. Aren't those the court illustrator sketches? As you can see from the sketch, the victim was seated at his desk when he was murdered. And what can you see right behind the victim? A small landscape painting. Thank you, Inquisitor, but there's one more point of note. Look closely at the painting. Do you notice anything behind it? Oh, I see it. The wall behind it had already been painted green. Which means that the witch could have used the portal spell 3 months ago.
Objection!
One moment, my lord. Consider how small that portal would have been. Could a witch have passed through? I think not.
Objection!
Of course the witch would not be able to go through it. However, if you look at the distance between the portal and the victim, you'll notice the victim, Sir Belduke, was sitting just at arm's length from where the portal would have been. The witch did not have to enter the room at all. Ha! All she had to do was reach through with her arms in order to strangle Sir Belduke, who was sitting right under the painting. Rubble, rubble, rubble! Order! Inquisitor Barnum, what say you to that? A fascinating theory, Sir Blue Knight. Ah! But there's a notable contradiction within it. Where would that be? Tell me, why do you think we concluded that Familia had to have been used? We had a certain reason for it, of course. Ah, what was that reason exactly? The crime scene had been tampered with. How so? Imagine the circumstances of Sir Belduke's death and it should become obvious even to you. The victim was choked to death. And yet there were no signs of a struggle. Highly improbable, don't you think? What are you getting at? Think about it. Can you imagine anyone just sitting back and letting themselves be strangled? Clearly there should be evidence of a struggle. And since we haven't found any, that must mean the killer erased all traces of a fight from the crime scene. Indeed, that would be the logical conclusion. Now, surely it would be impossible to do any such thing had the witch only reached inside through a portal. In order to cover up the evidence she left behind, she had to have used a familiar. Without doing so, there would have been no point to her using the spell Godor.
Objection!
Miss Grayle could have done it. She might have been able to tamper with the crime scene. What are you talking about? The morning of the crime. From the time Miss Grayle and the Guile entered the study until the arrival of the Knights of the Inquisition, there was a window of time in which she had opportunity to do so. Ah, we need to look into what happened in that window.